Well, we are going to try to fit a lot in this afternoon in a half hour, so I am going to go ahead and get us started. I will start by saying welcome. My name is Ellie Burns, and I am the Senior Director of Nonprofit Relations here at the Community Foundation. And I'm very excited to share a little snapshot of what we've got coming up in 2024 through the Community Foundation. I don't want to forget to say thank you to my colleague Ryan Douglas, who's here with me today. He'll hop on in a little bit. Ryan is a senior charitable giving advisor with the Community Foundation, and he's going to share some information about the foundation's agency fund program and some ways that you can utilize the Community Foundation in regards to non-cash assets. So we have the ability to chat and or unmute and ask questions as we go. So if you've got any questions, don't hesitate to ask them, or you could throw them in the chat, and if we don't address them throughout, then we'll get to them at the end. We are recording this session, so if you miss anything throughout, you'll have the wonderful opportunity to go back and listen to me again, and or share it with your friends. So with that said, I think we'll just go ahead and get started. I wanted to start with, and my screen's not moving, so just give me a second. There we go. I wanted to start with just a picture of what our website looks like, because I'm going to use our website today to sort of launch the conversation. So this is our homepage, DesMoinesFoundation.org. And you'll see that we've got that black bar across the top, and I'm going to sort of be operating from that nonprofit resources tab there. And in just a second, I'll show you that when you hover over that, there's a drop-down menu with a variety of different resources that we have available. But before I go to the next page, I also put a little box there that says subscribe to our newsletters. If you aren't already receiving our newsletters, that box is at the bottom of every page on our website, and we would encourage you to consider signing up. The nonprofit link is the newsletter that's compiled by the community impact team, and we like to elevate resources that are available not only through the Community Foundation, but also from some of our other partners in the community. So if you're not getting that, it's just a great way to stay connected and kind of know what's going on with us, as well as some of our partners. So like I mentioned, that nonprofit resources tab is a drop-down menu that will lead you to a number of different resources available through the community impact team. And I'm going to start by diving into grant making. So the Community Foundation, through our Better Together Fund, offers 3 types of grants. The first that I'll elevate is a capacity building grant. These are a maximum of $5,000 grants. They are available anytime throughout the year. They're on a rolling deadline, so there's really no date by which you have to have these submitted. It's just sort of as needed within your organization. Capacity building grants are really designed to support an organization who's looking in areas of governance or management support. So well-aligned capacity building grants might be given to an organization who wants to update their strategic plan or create a fund development plan. Another common one is when an organization's engaging in succession planning. So that's what the capacity building grants are really all about. The next one that's rolling as well, no deadline, are our strategic alignment grants. Those are a max of $25,000 requests. And strategic alignment grants are really designed to help organizations explore or implement shared staffing, facilitate a dialogue between multiple boards considering a merger, or maybe even for collective planning around a community issue. An example of a strategic alignment grant that we gave within the community a few years ago was to Youth Homes of Mid-America and Youth Emergency Services and Shelter. And now you know that organization as Ellipsis. And so they did some exploration as to whether or not that merger was the right thing for their organizations. Just to recap, those are both available throughout the year. And both of those grants are really most often designed to bring someone in to help the organization with their need. So we have a database of consultants available if that's something that you're interested in exploring. That's another tab under the nonprofit resources. You can search the consultants by keyword, which I would encourage because it's a pretty extensive list. It is an alphabetical list We don't recommend anyone on the list. It's open. Anyone who's interested in signing up can sign up. We don't really monitor that. And we don't require that you use a consultant that's listed on our consultant database. So it's a great tool to search through. If you've got maybe some strategic planning that you want to do and you'd like to bring a consultant in, you could type strategic planning in that search by keyword box, and it'll help sort of narrow that search down. So back to our grants, our third grant that we offer are our leadership grants. So our leadership grants are centered around equity, and they support projects that have the potential to create significant impact on community issues and opportunities. These grants do have a spring and a fall deadline. The spring letter of intent will be due April 5th. The fall letters of intent will be due October 4th. The asks for these grants generally fall between $25,000 and $250,000, although there's really not a minimum or a maximum. And it is required that you have a conversation with a member of the community impact team before applying. I would say we are always open to a conversation with you. So for any of these grants, if you're thinking, I wonder if this is a good fit for the Community Foundation grant, please don't hesitate to reach out. I'm really here to be your partner in elevating the ask. I don't make the decisions, so I'm just really here as your partner. When we talk about leadership grants, the Community Foundation does a crosswalk of all of the community plans, and that's how we identify our grant making priorities. So this document that's on the left-hand side of the screen here is available on our website, and it has links to all the different community plans there in the left-hand side table. You can download this and then it'll link you to all those plans. We do a crosswalk of all of these plans, and that's how we identify the grant making priorities on the right-hand side of the document. We would encourage or ask when we're having a conversation, how does the need or the project that you're looking for a leadership grant to support fit within one or more of these grant making priorities? We don't expect that your project would fit within all, but it should fit, we would say, deeply within a few versus broadly within all of them. And so then we'll have a conversation about how it fits, and more specifically, how does it fit within one or more of those community plans that's in alignment with that grant making priority. Our website does have some videos that highlight some of our recent and past grant recipients. And then this handout with our grant making priorities and a 2-page handout for all of the grants that I've talked about are all available on that grant making tab on our website. Some additional programs that the Community Foundation has available include For Impact Leaders. So For Impact Leaders is a leadership cohort that we launched in 2023. It's really focused on developing engaged and knowledgeable leaders within the nonprofit sector. Applications are generally due sometime in the summer between June and July. Participants will be notified by September, and that way they can have it on their calendars for the upcoming year. It's a 9-month cohort. We meet for a full day once a month between January and September. This is our inaugural graduating class of 2023. We have 15 members in the 2024 cohort, and just really excited about that work and the program, and would definitely welcome a conversation if you or anybody on your team might be a good fit for that program. Another program that we launched in 2023 is called Colleague Connect. So this is an opportunity to network with your nonprofit partners in a fun, informal, and confidential setting. We meet once a month to discuss insights and troubleshoot challenges. We generally start with some sort of an article or a study to launch the conversation, and then from there you have an hour just to network with your partners. There's no cost to participate, and we do meet here at the C3 Center. We have 4 different Colleague Connect groups. We have one group for executive directors, a second group for managers, and we say managers of people, so that could be staff and or volunteers. Development is our 3rd Colleague Connect, and marketing communications is our 4th. And you are welcome to attend any and all that apply to you and the role that you play within your organization. So it's designed to come when you can. It's not an expectation that you're there every month. And the conversation to this point, I could say, has been really rich and really beneficial to those who've been able to attend. So if that's not something you're already joining us for, please consider whether or not that's a good fit for you. So we have some additional links under that nonprofit resources tab, which include employment. So we have an employment page on our website, and it's the most visited page on our website. If you've got an opening within your team, you're welcome to place that up on our employment site. I would highly encourage it. We also have a tab called Helpful Links, which includes helpful links. Categories include just a general helpful links for nonprofits, DEI, financial management, fundraising, grant writing, HR, technology, all sorts of different links that you might find helpful. We have a variety of on-demand videos and handouts under our training tab. This is a picture of 2 of the videos that we utilize in our board basics training. There are actually 4. And then we have handouts that go along with those videos that are available to anyone to download and use. And last year, we also launched an additional on-demand training called So You Want to Start a Nonprofit. So it's designed to help answer the questions that people might have if they're considering starting a nonprofit or just getting started with launching a nonprofit. We've got a video and handout there as well. Additional tabs include the disaster recovery tab, which explains the partnerships created between disaster response and philanthropic organizations in Des Moines to develop a collective strategy for charitable giving during times of disaster. And then finally, our Give DSM toolkit. So if you're not familiar with our Give DSM site, I sort of liken it to a crowdsourcing or GoFundMe site for nonprofits in our community. This is just a screenshot of what the site looked like at one point in time recently. It's a great way for organizations to put out an ask or a need. Maybe it's not the right fit for one of our grants. It's a project or a program that just doesn't fit in alignment with our grants, but something that you're trying to raise some funds for. We encourage donors to visit Give DSM. It's also public facing, so anyone can give to your organization. If you've got an ask up here, anyone can give to that need. We ask you to submit a picture, so you share your picture, an overview of what your project is. So if you click into any of these, you can learn more about each individual project, the amount of money that you'd like to raise, and I think we generally ask for a timeline by which you'd like to raise those funds as well. You self-identify what category, you can see that giving categories box there. You self-identify what category your ask would fall within. And so donors can search by giving category. They can also search whether it's a timely need, a capital campaign, or general support. So if you've got a capital campaign going on and some general support that you could use for another project or program, you're welcome to list multiple asks on Give DSM. And then that Give DSM toolkit is just a great resource to refer to before you put your post up, and that can just help you think through the asks that you'd like to have up there. If you have any questions about Give DSM or getting an ask up there, please don't hesitate to reach out. We are happy to kind of walk you through that process. All right, I talked a lot, so I'm going to pass it over to Ryan now. Thanks, Ryan.
Great, thank you, Ellie. Good afternoon, everyone. Again, my name is Ryan Douglas. I'm a senior charitable giving advisor here at the Community Foundation. And really my role is about supporting all of our nonprofit partners, all the nonprofits in our community to help with charitable giving. So we can just be a resource. Maybe you have questions about donors with complex gifts or non-cash assets, or maybe your board's looking for somewhere to help invest and manage your endowment funds that you have, or even start an endowment fund. So again, we're not going to cover everything today. Just want to touch on some overviews, high-level things that we do here as a resource. Again, we're here to elevate charitable giving in our community, and really that comes down to supporting all of you. So I'd like to start with talking about what you see on the screen, which is what we call our agency funds. And agency funds for us really means nonprofit funds. It's organizations, 501c3s that have endowment money that need a place for management and investment. And again, we're a 50-plus-year-old organization. We've been doing this for a long time. over $900 million of charitable assets. So we have a lot of strength in investment management and specifically with endowments. So there's two types of endowments that we work with. The first is called an agency endowment, and that serves more like a quasi endowment. And I think that's important for a lot of the people on this call because boards can be a little bit hesitant with permanent endowment funds because they know that money's locked up forever. But the agency endowment funds that we hold here at our community foundation allow access up to that 100% of the money. So while they typically on an annual basis would pay out the 5% that you would expect for an endowment, at any point your board with board resolution can request up to 100% of that money. We know years like COVID happen, unforeseen circumstances. So that flexibility is something that we've got a lot of positive feedback from the nonprofit partners that we work with. So that's the first type. The second is an Endow Iowa qualified fund. And again, without knowing who all is in my audience today, just going to do a quick overview of what that program means. So maybe you've heard of it, maybe you don't know all the details. Endow Iowa was set up by the state to incentivize our local population to permanently support our local charities. And they did that by offering a state tax credit of up 25%. So think about $1,000 gift comes in for this type of fund. That donor would get a $250 state tax credit to offset their state income taxes. So huge tax planning opportunity for your donors. And we manage those type of funds. And it's called an Endow Iowa Fund. Again, there's, I'm sure, a lot of questions. We have great resources on our website, always available to answer those questions offline as well. Next slide, please. So the other topic I always like to bring up with our nonprofit partners is this screen here, which is non-cash gifts. So I'm sure there's a variety of people on this call, executive directors, board members, development people, et cetera. We can all stand to benefit from continuing our education in this area. The picture, the pie chart on the left shows what a typical net worth statement would look like for your average donor. And you'll see that over 90% of someone's assets are usually held non-cash. So think about their house, investments in their retirement accounts, personal property, maybe if it's a private business. So, most people's wealth is not in their checking and savings account. Yet the pie chart on the right shows a different story, which is a typical behavior of someone that's charitably inclined. They're giving from their checkbook. They're swiping the credit card, which is great. It's an easy way to do business with charities. But just look at all of that money left on the table with the 90% of non-cash gifts. And I think it's our role at the Community Foundation to educate all of our nonprofit partners to think outside of that checkbook. How do we continue to educate our donors and our community that there's other gift types that we can accept and access one, maybe a more tax favorable or more strategic gift for the donor, but also likely leading to bigger gifts and more of a positive relationship that you're building with your donors. And so I know for some people on this call, maybe that's raises anxiety because, man, I'm not the expert on complex gifts, or I have no idea where to start. And again, that's where we're here to be a resource. We just don't want people to have to turn down great gifts. So if we can be a phone call or email away of, hey, I just had this donor ask about this, what are my options? That's really where we hope that we can bring that confidence and come alongside you to hopefully gain confidence with that donor or execute on that gift. Next slide, please. The last piece I'll leave you with is this. This Ways to Give chart is on our website. Many of you have probably seen something similar to this, but it's just a nice visual showing the various types of gifts. And this is not an exhaustive list. This is just some examples and the potential benefit to a donor. So it's just a nice visual to show like there are various ways that people will come to you looking for ways to support you in a creative way. And again, I don't expect people to be an expert on this. We all realize that you joined the nonprofit world likely to be focused on your mission and program. And that's why we're here. We want to be that back engine, that back resource for you so you guys can continue to be successful and continue your mission. So with that, I'm going to pass it back to Ellie. I know there's probably a lot of questions, but again, today was mainly just to say, we're here, we're a resource for you.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Ryan. And I would totally agree. Yeah, that's definitely what today was all about. We're here and we have a variety of resources that hopefully you learned something new that we offer through the Community Foundation today. I shared a little bit about GiveDSM. I don't know if I gave the website, so it's givedsm.org. If you haven't visited that or thought about posting an ask, please do. Just to review some of the other things that we covered today, we covered information about the grants available through the Community Foundation, our 4 Impact Leaders leadership cohort, Colleague Connect. We have the employment opportunities page, the consultant database, helpful links. We also have some exciting events coming up. Philanthropy in Central Iowa and annual development planning is actually tomorrow. It's here at the C3 Center in person from 9 to 11. Nikki Severson from Isaacs and Severson Consulting will be presenting on that and sort of unpacking that state of philanthropy report that Isaacs and Severson does in the Des Moines community. So excited to hear from Nikki. On March 5th, we'll be hosting Unlocking Generative AI for Social Good. Our partners with Data for Good will be here also in person from 8:30 to 10:30 that morning. We encourage you to bring your laptop because it'll be a little bit of a hands-on activity. April 9th, we have Grant Writing with Ethics, Aligning Mission to Impactful Grants. So we've done a grant writing sort of tips and tricks training the past 2 years. It's been really well received. So we're going to offer that again. That one is virtual from 11 to 12:30. And then finally, Onboard, the basics of being an effective board member will be hosted in person on May 10th from 8:30 to 10:30. So those are all available on our website under the events tab. Please feel free to join us for any and all of them that seem like a good fit for you and what your learning needs are. So we just want to thank you so much for joining us. We've got a few minutes here. If you have any questions and you want to stay on, Ryan and I are happy to answer them. Otherwise, don't ever hesitate to reach out. There's our email addresses and phone numbers. We're happy to schedule a meeting with you or just catch a time to have a chat. So thank you so much.